Hey everyone, this is going to be Fallen's overview of equipment and gears since the 18.0 update. If you're not in our server already, I strongly invite you to join because I'll be using it a lot today to go over some of the resources we have available. To get started, if you don't know anything about gear, I highly recommend checking out this little post that I made recently. It's inside our useful info channel, and you can find it in the resource wiki category. Once you're inside that channel, there is a post called Gear Overview. This post will just briefly talk over how to merge and then showcase all the possible items you can get in the game. So these are all the weapons, these are all the armor, and this is all the amulets. Each have specific characteristics, so I highly recommend you read them. To get started, the gears is managed all inside the forge button here. The forge can be misleading, but it's got everything from dismantling, merging, everything, enchantments. It's all inside of this menu here. Once you click on the forge, for me it opened the enchantment menu. For you it may open this menu here, which is crafting. I don't have any fragments, so we're going to skip over this part. And we're going to start right away with dismantling. So I'm going to be dismantling everything. Well, almost everything. I'm going to keep some stuff so that we can go through how upgrading works. So I'm probably going to keep maybe 2 of those. And then dismantle everything else. And maybe 2 of these, see if I have enough. No, do that. Alright, so we're going to dismantle all of that. And it's given it to us. So do keep in mind, everything you dismantle, you'll be getting 50% of the fragments you use to get to that piece of equipment. So let's say you crafted an item and the item cost 200, as you can see. Once you dismantle that item, you'll get 100 back. We can try this out right now actually with a weapon. So you see it costs 200 to make. We're going to craft it. Now we have 1 spear. So if we come over here and we dismantle that spear, we're only going to be getting 100 back. So that's how the dismantling works. So now let's go over leveling up our unit to merge into a higher rarity item. For this example, I'm going to merge these 2 together. To know how much it costs to level up a gear of each rarity level, we also have a post on our Discord covering that. So if you go over to the same channel that we were in before, the useful info, there's a post called Gear Upgrade Guide. So if I scroll to the top and I open this menu here, this is for the common. So we'll know for the common it'll take 380 fragments and then 2500 gold to fully max out that one piece of equipment. For rare, it's a bit more expensive. It'll take 1620 fragments and 22,000 gold. I don't think I have enough on my account to upgrade any of the rare items. I do not. So for the sake of this video, we're going to be using common items only. So I did keep 2 of these chainmails. We're going to be using that to merge. So first you want to upgrade one of them to max. Normally you'd want to select the one that you want to keep the faction bonuses on. So you can see on common I don't have any faction bonus. But if I go to my rare items, I'll have 1. So let's go ahead and level this up. Once you hit level 5, it's max level. And again, that's all showed here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's the max for common. 10 is the max for rare. 15 is the max for epic. And then 20 is the max for legend. Now that it's max level, if I go back inside my forge, I'll be able to merge it now. So I'll select this as my first item because it's maxed. And then I'll select this as my second item, and they will merge into an item of higher rarity. In this scenario, it'll be rare. So we got Dark Domain as a faction bonus on this piece of equipment. Okay, so this is a piece of gear that I've received from merging. Um, if I were to enchant it, which I will, we're going to be enchanting this piece of gear. The enchantment will show up right at the top. If it was an epic item, it will have a set. I don't have any of that here. So let's jump over to my other account right now and see what that looks like. Okay, we're on the other account now. So if you look at this epic gear, there's a set there at the corner. And the same thing for legendary gear. They all have a set. When you're merging, your set doesn't carry over. It's totally random. Once upon a time, there was a 50% chance that your set was going to carry over. And you may still hear players tell you that. That is not the case. When you're merging, it's 100% random, and your set will not carry over. However, all the faction bonus will. So if you're merging a piece of epic equipment, these two faction bonuses will carry over to the legend. Alright, back to the other account. So let's jump back into the forge, and we're going to go inside enchantment now. I know I said I was going to select this one, but instead let me select my level 4, since it is my higher level gear. This is what makes more sense for me to enchant, since I have been using it already. If you've never used enchantment before, which is the case for me on this account, you'll have an unlock enchantment option, which will require you to complete a puzzle. It talks about what the puzzle is and things like that, so let's just go and jump right into it. The first one is quite simple. On my other account, I have had puzzles that were a little more difficult than this. We'll see when we actually go to enchant it. So now that we've unlocked enchantment, it's kind of your tutorial on how to complete that puzzle. Now we're going into the real deal. Enchantments are picked at random, and you have certain percentages of getting certain enchantments. Before you enchant, I highly recommend you being familiar with them because it will ask you to pick out of 3 options. So if you head back to our Discord server, there's another post that I've made recently. Where is it? Here. Gear enchantments. This has all of the enchantments that are available to you in the game. These are the legendary enchantments. That's 2% chance, 30% chance for epic, 33 for rare, and 35 for common. Keep in mind, these percentages are based on legendary gear. Each rarity level has different percentages. If you want to check the game itself, it will tell you. If you go here and you press the I, it'll tell you beforehand. So for that piece of gear that I'm enchanting right now, I have a 1% chance of getting a legendary enchantment, 11% for epic, and so on and so forth. You can see it here on the screen. So just be careful because you'll only have 3 options. So it's best that you get familiar with these before you go ahead and jump into enchantment. I am a little bit familiar with these, so we'll just go ahead and enchant. This is an example of what I was telling you before. They do get a little bit more difficult. My God. All right, now that we're done, if we press continue, this is actually a good one. And it shows Kingdom of Light because that's the only faction I have on it. If you did have 2 or 3 faction bonus on your piece of equipment, it would choose one at random. So do keep that in mind. If you do have a legendary piece of item, it's good to be able to enchant it maybe twice. So you have a better chance of getting the faction that you'd like. In this case, it's a no-brainer. I'll take Enchanted Monster, but it also gives me Wrath. And you can see what that is here. And then Gus. Enchantment Monster is a good one, so we'll take this. Once your gear is enchanted, once you go down here and look at your gear, it'll be different than all the other ones. Now this little icon is lit up, meaning it's enchanted, and the enchantment icon at the bottom right indicates what it's enchanted with. So if we open this up, it'll show up right here at the top with the faction that it's applying to. So let's move over to my other account. I'll show you the costs of the second upgrade and the third upgrade, and also I'll show you what it looks like on higher rarity items. Alright, now that we're here, let's talk about the cost for the second enchantment and the third enchantment. I'm going to show you quickly on my account, but also we have a Discord post that talks about it. In the same channel I was talking about earlier, there's one that's called Quick Guide to Enchantments. Inside this post I go over in detail how much it costs for each level, and I also have a video showing you what that looks like. So let's go inside our forge, inside enchantment. Let's select this item that I have 2 of. You'll see now my cost is 1200. And there's no way to tell which enchantment, which faction is going to select next, because they are locked. The only time you'll really know for sure is this one here, because there's only one left. But this one, for example, you don't know. It could be picking Forest, or it could be picking Techno. I don't have enough essence to go and enchant it right now, but when I did have enough essence, one of the locks was wiggling, indicating that that's the next one it will upgrade. And you'll see that on the other post that I made inside Discord that I just showed you. If you look at those videos, when I went to upgrade it the second time, one of the locks was wiggling, indicating, okay, that's the next one. Also, enchantments aren't set in stone. You'll see here there's a change enchantment, and it costs 200. Every time you buy this, you have the option to select between 3 options, again, just like the original enchantment, but the percentages don't change. This is how I got this enchantment here, Pocket Curse, on my piece of gear. It took 1200 essence for me to get that. It may take more, it may take significantly more, or you may get lucky and you may get it on your first try. That's the thing about 1 or 2% chance, is that you may get it on your first try, or you may get it after 100 times.